Today I wanted to talk about the verb llamar in Spanish and several of the most important ways to use it. Llamar is one of the more common verbs in Spanish. It means call, generally, but there is, of course, a bit of a longer story, so let's get right to it. Hey everybody, it's Daniel. Welcome back to my sofa in beautiful Barcelona, Spain. Today we're going to talk about the verb llamar in Spanish. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you have any questions about the Spanish language. I am here to help you. So, llamar, first off, is call, like call on the telephone. Simple enough. I could say, te llamo más tarde. I'm going to just give examples of sentences with the verb conjugated. Te llamo más tarde is like a present simple, but the más tarde implies that I'm talking about the future. So, te llamo más tarde. I will call you later. We have, llamé a María, pero no me contestó. This is all in past. Llamé a María, pero no me contestó. I called Maria, but she didn't answer. No problem there. Llamé has an accent on the E. Contestó has an accent on the O. Kind of a typical thing in the past simple. Llamé a María, pero no me contestó. Tienes que llamar para hacer una cita. Common thing here in Spain. Tienes que llamar para hacer una cita. You have to call to make an appointment. Cita is appointment. It could also be a date, like a romantic encounter, but in this case, tienes que llamar para hacer una cita. It sounds like we're talking about an appointment with a dentist or something. In that case, llamar is in the infinitive because tienes que is you have to, and you use the infinitive afterwards for the verb that you have to do. When we're talking about llamar as call, the noun is llamada. So I could say, tengo una llamada perdida. Tengo una llamada perdida is I have a missed call. Tengo una llamada perdida, like my phone shows me that there's a call that I did not pick up. So that's llamar as call. Let's talk about me llamo Daniel. When I was a kid, this is one of the first sentences I ever learned in Spanish. Probably one of the first sentences you ever learned in Spanish. Me llamo Daniel. Literally, this is, I call myself Daniel. It's not quite the same thing as mi nombre es Daniel, but it, expresses the same information. This is just the normal way of saying it. I wouldn't actually say mi nombre es Daniel in the majority of situations. If you've been doing this for a while, you probably know the question, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? Officially is, how are you called? But of course, nobody says that in English. It is, what's your name? If I had maybe a list of people, and I said, ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Like I'm looking at the list and I'm trying to check you off a list maybe. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? That's also a possibility, but, it's a bit different than ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? I'm taking an interest in you. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? I'm maybe just checking you off a list. In third person singular, él se llama Eduardo. Él se llama Eduardo. His name is Eduardo. We could also do this in past. Mi abuelo se llamaba Daniel. My grandfather was called Daniel. Mi abuelo se llamaba Daniel. In this case, llamaba is the past. It's the type of past that we use for long-term situations in the past. I'll talk about these different past tenses someday. Subscribe to the channel so that you receive notifications when I make new videos. Speaking of past situations that are like continuous in the past, here's a sentence. This is a typical sentence when you're learning to differentiate the two past tenses. Alguien llamó a la puerta cuando estaba en la ducha. Alguien llamó a la puerta cuando estaba en la ducha. This is somebody rang the doorbell or somebody knocked on the door when I was in the shower or while I was in the shower. Cuando estaba en la ducha, the estaba implies that I was in the shower sort of for a period of time. Alguien llamó a la puerta. Llamo implies that interrupted the longer action. In English, we would say somebody knocked on the door while I was in the shower or while I was showering. The was showering gives you the idea also of a continuous action in the past. Anyway, alguien llamó a la puerta cuando estaba en la ducha. No problem there. I think that llamar a la puerta could be knocking on the door. It could definitely be with the bell because you're like ringing the bell. But otherwise, tocar la puerta would specifically be to knock on the door. Either way, let's move on with another meaning of llamar. ¿Puedes llamar al camarero? Can you call the waiter? ¿Puedes llamar al camarero? This is llamar in the sense of like wave him over or something, get his attention. ¿Puedes llamar al camarero? There's also llamar in the sense of attract. So if I say, el fútbol no me llama mucho, I'm saying that I don't like football that much. Football doesn't do much for me. Football does not attract my attention. El fútbol no me llama mucho. I'm just saying I don't like it, basically, but it's sort of a more polite way of saying that I don't like it. And those are the big uses of llamar in Spanish. I have two more things to say about llama, because llama could be an animal, a llama, but the word llama is the same as the conjugation of llamar. Una llama estaba comiendo pasto. I don't know. A llama was eating grass, basically. Una llama estaba comiendo pasto. Pasto comes from the verb pastar, which is like graze, I believe. Anyway, that's a longer story about livestock vocabulary. After that, llama can also be a flame. If we're talking about fire, fire is fuego, but llama is like one flame. En llamas is a way of saying that something is on fire. So, cuando llegaron los bomberos, la casa estaba en llamas. When the firefighters arrived, the house was in flames. Cuando llegaron los bomberos, la casa estaba en llamas. So that's llamar, and that is llama. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I do this every week or two. I've got a new video. Also, I have a podcast, which is on the same YouTube channel. The podcast is called Spain to Go. It talks about life in Spain, life in 21st century Spain, which is a bit different than you might be expecting. It's not all tapas at the beach, if you're wondering. Anyway, you can listen to that. There's 130 episodes or something like that at this point, and it's on this same YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on any other platform. Spain to Go is the name. Hope you have a great day wherever you are. Hasta la próxima. Bye.